Hey, this is Study Smart fielding a question on how to beat procrastination. So, this student writes that they have a big midterm in 2 days, and instead of studying or understanding how important it's going to be, they're wasting their entire day preparing how to study or going on their phone. This is a common problem. Let's talk about why this happens. So, imagine this is your brain, whatever. When you wake up, you have a certain amount of energy, right? Because you're well rested in theory. So let's imagine you have this bar and it's 10 points of energy. Well, you have a couple options on what to do with your day. Option 1 is what you should do, right? And that's work. And then option 2 is screw around. Now, your brain, unfortunately, is not a logic machine. If it was, you would just go to work every single time and you would win. It is an energy conservation machine. What that means is it's going to do the easiest thing it can get away with, and that's only going to be exacerbated if you're addicted to something like your phone. So let's talk about that specifically in this context. Doing work is going to end up in the good outcome. You're going to feel happy about it once you're done with the work. Screwing around on your phone is going to end up with the bad outcome. You're going to feel worse after you spend your entire day screwing around. And the proof of that is this post right here. Now, despite that, your brain is still going to want to screw around on your phone. And the reason is screwing around only costs 0 to 3 hypothetical energy points. It is a cheap task to do. However, doing work costs more like 7 or higher energy points kind of to get into. Now, there's a second layer to what makes this difficult, and that's the fact that even though you start with 10, deliberating in this area, so sitting around thinking about which choice you should make, is only going to make things harder, because that itself costs you energy points. So for every second you stand around, and you're just kind of trying to decide, okay, should I work? Should I screw around? Well, I know I should work, but I want to screw around. And then you start convincing yourself, I can take 15 minutes off. I can take half an hour off. I still have 13, 14 hours left in the day. That starts subtracting your energy points because you're spending so much mental energy predicting what's going to happen in the future and planning for something that, may or may not be difficult. All right, so all of that's basically to say your brain naturally wants to just, be on your phone. And on top of that, deliberating on your action is also going to make you more likely to just be on your phone. So the solution then is kind of to just brute force your way as soon as you wake up and just forget all this deliberation process and just go straight to work. So in a perfect world, you wake up, roll out of bed, immediately get, to your laptop or to your computer and start doing work immediately. You can think of it as similar to taking a cold shower. The longer you wait outside your shower with the faucet off, the more difficult it is going to be for you to eventually do it. You might think you're going to be able to convince yourself or logic yourself or gaslight yourself into taking that shower. But the issue is this decision-making process is not a logical process. It is an emotional process, and you can't effectively logic your way through it. You might be able to do it every now and then, but I don't think you can do it consistently. So what you have to do is just shut your decision-making process off, turn your brain off, and just brute force your way to get to work. And once you overcome the activation energy, everything else kind of becomes easier down the line. You build positive momentum in your day, and it stops being such a pain in the butt to just, finish up your tasks. And at the end of the day, you're left feeling happy. And this feeling right here is going to lead you with positive momentum into the next day. You're going to get better sleep, and you might start with 11 points instead of 10, which makes you more likely to do the good habits tomorrow. Now, if we contrast that with this bad day, where we end up just screwing around all day, what happens? This happens. This post happens. We get more depressed, more sad, and then we take these emotions back and we start off with 8 to 7 points, which causes us to kind of go back into the cycle and just creates a problematic situation that most students find themselves in. So to summarize, the best thing you can do in this situation is wake up early. Early just because you're less likely to screw around at 4 a.m. than you are at 10 a.m. And then toss your phone away because that's clearly a problem for all of us these days, especially for you. And then jump straight into work as fast as you can without allowing any time for deliberation or nonsensical arguments in your head. And that will get you very far in terms of studying discipline.